Hi, this is Charlie Page, and I want to welcome you back to Common Sense Article Writing and Marketing. That's right, we've changed since I talked to you last. We've added a complete marketing course to our article writing course. So now it's Common Sense Article Writing and Marketing, but since that name is too long, we're going to call it Common Sense Article Marketing. So we've added a complete second membership to Common Sense Article Writing, and we've just included it in the membership. The membership still contains all the templates and checklists and videos and good stuff of the writing course, but now we've added a complete article marketing course too. So in video 1 of this series, I asked, do you trust Google? And you know, the good news is you don't have to trust them to profit from what they do. That's very, very good news, because whether you trust them or not, you can profit from what they do if you know how to work the system. So in video 2, I shared how to increase the flow of traffic to your website. And this is what we want. We want a steady, big, beautiful, wet, juicy, profitable flow of traffic to our websites. And we talked about 4 ways to accomplish that, to increase the flow. Number 1, paid advertising. That's not right for everyone, but if you're in a position where it is right for you, it can really increase the flow quickly. Number 2, free advertising. Number 3, content marketing, something anyone can do that absolutely increases the flow. And number 4, social media. So the real question now is this, and it's a very important question. What will be the method that will open the flow for you? Because you see, what works for some big $10 million a month guru, that's not necessarily going to work for you. What you need to find is the thing that's going to work for you. So let's talk for a few minutes about multiple streams of traffic, and let me give you a recommended plan of action that's based upon key principles. Now, I want to share with you these principles are proven. They're validated, and I'll be completely candid, they're a little bit old-fashioned, because I'm a little bit old-fashioned too. You know, I believe what Zig Ziglar said. What he said specifically is you can have everything in life you want if you'll help enough other people get what they want. Now that's an old-fashioned principle. That's kind of a new take on the golden rule. I believe that it's true. So these are old-fashioned principles, but they're using cutting-edge methods to help you earn income online. Number 1, focus on quality. I want to tell you a very, very brief story about a consulting client I had years and years ago. This guy had a mailing list of 80,000 people. Now, that's a big list. When I was starting out online, I did very well with a mailing list of 16,000 people. So when I first met this guy, I thought, well, 80,000 people, he's got to be making $1 million a year, right? Well, it turned out he wasn't even making a full-time income. Here's why. Instead of focusing on quality and thinking about how he could help them get what they wanted, what he did was he focused on what he wanted, and he sent advertisement after advertisement after advertisement to this list, and he burned them out. Now, he still had a list of 80,000 people, and that's a big old list, and he was paying that AWeber bill every single month, but he wasn't making any money simply because he didn't focus on quality. I had another client who told me that he had 300 and something articles on his blog, and he didn't understand why he wasn't getting any clicks or anybody's pulling out their wallet. Well, you know, it turns out these were spun articles, that he took 10 or 12 articles and spun them up into 300 articles. And yes, those were words on a page, but he didn't focus on quality. He didn't focus on the main thing. And the main thing is helping other people solve problems. If you help other people solve problems, they're going to reciprocate and they're going to help you solve your problems. So the key principle, number 1, focus on quality. It's very important. Number 2, you have to avoid scarcity thinking. Now, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, and I'm not trying to be, but I'll tell you this. Our minds naturally go to the place where they say to us, yeah, that's going to work for Charlie Page, but that ain't going to work for me. That's going to work for Brendan Burchard. That's going to work for these people, but that's not going to work for me. And that is not true. The main thing I want to tell you is this. Everyone whose name you know today, Seth Godin, Brendan Burchard, pick a name, any name, They started from zero. There's more than enough traffic to go around. There are big markets of people waiting to hear from you, but you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe that you have something worth saying. Now, the something worth saying doesn't have to come from your personal experience. It can come from research. Think about Oprah Winfrey for a minute. What skills does Oprah have? I mean, I know she knows how to make money. I know she's an intelligent woman. And believe me, I don't dislike Oprah, but what I'm saying is she's not the greatest tennis player in the world or the greatest golfer in the world or the greatest writer in the world. But what she knows how to do like nobody else is package information for the consumption of the general public. I mean, she's great at that. So the knowledge she shares on her show and on her network, that doesn't come from her own personal experience. She's interviewing people who have had experience. She's doing research. That's what I'm saying. So avoid scarcity thinking. And I put this in here, and I know it's a little odd, but I put this in here because we all suffer from this. We all suffer from the thought that that works for them, but it's not going to work for me. That's not true, and you have to call that thing a lie, and you have to believe that you can do this, because you can. If anybody can do it, you can do it. It just takes hard work. Number 3, protect your home base. This is so important. I see people so often who go out and learn how to generate traffic, and they're promoting a particular ClickBank product or an affiliate product, and they're generating traffic, and then they lose interest in promoting that product, and they move on to the next shiny object product, the next launch of the minute, the next webinar of the month, and the traffic they worked so hard to generate is still flowing, but it's not flowing to them because they didn't send that traffic to their home base. You have to protect your home base. You have to build your blog, and I believe it needs to be a hosted WordPress blog. I don't think you want to build a house on rented land. Build your blog to be the best it can be by adding video, podcasts, audio, interviews, reviews, instead of starting something new. Protect your home base. Those are my 3 most important key principles. It's what I operate my business on. It's how I consult with people to build their businesses. Now let's look at 4 steps that you can take to build a real online business. Number 1, you have to start with a strong foundation. I mean, it's self-evident that we have to have a strong foundation to build a house. We don't go out into a field and scrape off the grass from a piece of dirt and begin building a 5 or 6 or 10-story building. You've got to build that foundation first. You know, if you look around your town and you look at the buildings that are built that are 2 stories or 5 stories or 20 stories or even 100 stories, they have incredibly deep foundations so that they can last a long time and so they can maintain their integrity. We have to do the same thing. We have to build a strong foundation. Building a strong foundation on your own website of content is the only way to engage the law of attraction. You really can't attract an audience who wants to hear what you're sharing by running paid advertising. You can drive traffic that way, but you can't invoke the law of attraction by having people respond to an ad. It's just not the same thing. Now we're going to look closer at this in a few minutes. This is the key, in my opinion, for most people. If you have a super strong foundation now, you're getting thousands and thousands of visitors, congratulations, and continue building that foundation, because you can't have too strong a platform. You can't have too strong a foundation. Another thing to do is to tap into existing pools of traffic. These are things like social media and large groups of people who have already expressed an interest in what you want to share. That's very, very important. You've got to know what to do with them once you get their attention, and that's why I focus so much on the strong foundation. But one of the keys to success online is to tap into existing pools of traffic. You don't want to have to generate interest among people. You want to find groups of people who are interested and divert them to your home base. That's one of the very important keys. Another key is to partner up. Now, I'm not talking about some pie-in-the-sky joint venture thing that's going to make you $1 million and you're going to win a Corvette, because that's fantasy. But here's what I am talking about. I'm talking about you benefiting from other people's authority. Now, how does that happen? Well, it can happen in a number of ways. Let me give you one quick example. Let's say you wrote up a really great article and you were able to post that article on the #1 blog in whatever niche you're working in. So let's say you're in the content marketing, internet marketing world, and you could get an article posted on Copyblogger or on Seth Godin's blog or somewhere like that. Do you think that would do something for you? You bet it would. And that's what I mean by partnering up. I mean benefiting from other people's authority. And then the other thing is you have to pay attention to monetization. You've got to make money in order to stay in business. The key here is you must monetize early and often. I mean, why wait to start making money from your website or your blog? You don't really need to wait. You just need to follow a few strategic steps and monetize early and often. That's the name of the game. Let's dig a little deeper into what I believe is the #1 most important thing that anybody who's not making a full-time, and I mean a big full-time income right now, if you're not making that, I think this is the key to focus on, which is your strong foundation. There are a few key activities you need to do. They're not 100 things. I'm going to go through only a handful. But if you do these well, you won't need to worry about the 50,000 other things. You don't ever have to do a webinar in your life. You don't ever have to be interviewed or try to find some kind of booking agent or any of that kind of stuff. But if you do a few key things consistently well, you're going to put time on your side and you're going to build a real business. Posting to your own blog is one of the things. Now, this doesn't have to be the end-all, be-all, best article ever written in the history of mankind. They're going to put it in the Smithsonian It's So Good article. These can be observations. I read something on Seth Godin's blog yesterday where he made an observation about how traffic lights got their color. And that thing was tweeted out like 450 times. Now granted, he's Seth Godin and I'm not, and you're not. But, you know, he came from nowhere to become who he is today because he learned and he applied what he learned. And he has posted to his own blog every day for the last 5 years. And guess what? He's got the #1 marketing blog in the world. It's amazing. Now, you don't want to use a replicated blog or social media. And I know for some people this may be a little controversial, but I'm going to tell you what my opinion is and why I have this opinion. I'll repeat again, you wouldn't build a house on rented land. That's just common sense. And that's why you shouldn't, in my opinion, make your home base be a replicated blog or social media. Because when you use a replicated blog from a company where you've bought a business opportunity or from Blogger or someplace like that, or you really put your emphasis on social media, when those companies decide to change the rules, and they will because they have, that's their track record, when they decide to make things, quote, better, then you have no choice but to accept the changes. I mean, think of all the hubbub that happened around just the timeline change, much less all these other changes that have come along from all these other social medias. Social media is great, don't get me wrong. Those are pools of large pools, of people who are interested in a topic, and you need to go over there, get their attention, and get them to go, guess where? To your home base, the one you control, the one you own. Now, you want to curate the best of the best content from other people in addition to writing content of your own. I think it's a wonderful service to give to people to let them hear other people's voices, but let's let you be the megaphone from which they're hearing. Let's let you be the source of the information where you do ethical curation. I'm not talking about taking somebody's article off their blog, putting your name on it, and then publishing it. I've got a guy right now that's doing that with every article I write. It's driving me crazy. That's not curation. That is, in my opinion, theft. I'm talking about ethically, honestly curating the best of the best content from other people and sharing those points of view with your audience. When you do that, they will be blessed. And when that happens, they will reciprocate by liking you, by trusting you, and by buying from you. It just happens all the time. Here's another key: to guest post on authority sites. Now, this is much easier than most people think that it is, but it sounds hard in the beginning. It's just an important thing to be able to do. Here's the reason you want to guest post. When you guest post on an authority site, their authority becomes your authority. It's as simple as that. When you guest post on a site that's well respected in your niche, they are, by the fact that they post your article, saying, we endorse this person, we approve of this person. You want to engage your tribe with comments. Now, I know the word tribe is overused, and I'm really sorry I put it in this slide. I should say your visitors, because I think that's more accurate. But you will build a tribe over time. You will build a group of people who follow you, who like you. It's happened for me. It's happened for a lot of people, and it's a really wonderful thing. It's humbling, I'll be honest with you, when people say, I buy everything you sell, I read everything that you write, I've really been helped by your material. That will happen for you if you do basic things consistently well. And one of the things you need to do consistently well is to engage with the people who visit your blog in the commenting section. I'm running a survey right now to determine how can I better engage with people on the comments on my own blog. So it's a very important and meaningful thing. See, people want meaningful engagement. They don't want this superficial stuff that's happening in social media a lot. What they want is to make a connection with a person who can help them solve a problem. Remember, it's all about solving problems for other people. If you help enough people get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. It just happens every time. Also, you want to add multiple modalities of helpful information. Wow, I can't believe I wrote that. That is a mouthful right there. Let me tell you what I mean by multiple modalities of helpful information. Provide a variety of types of information on your blog so that people can consume the information you share the way they want to. I do videos inside my membership sites, but I also provide audio. I also provide written transcripts. I also provide a place where people can type in a question, and they also leave a place where people can click a button and record a voicemail and send me a question that way. I do that because I want to help people, and the way that I want to help them is by letting them consume the information the way they want to, and by asking the question the way they want to. So include things like video and podcasts. Doesn't have to be your podcast. It can be the replay of somebody else's podcast as you've received permission. Include free reports. You might get these from private label rights sites and spiff them up. They'll almost always need spiffing up. You want to include things like free reports, downloads, interviews, guest posts from other people on your blog. What do you do next? Well, focus on your foundation. That's the thing. Focus on your foundation. And if your foundation isn't strong, I do want to tell you about Common Sense Article Writing and Article Marketing. And that's too long a name. We're just going to call it Common Sense Article Marketing. But I couldn't resist putting that back up there. Here's the thing. I heard a really big time marketer say the other day, somebody I really respect, content is the new marketing. And that's true. Content is the new marketing. This is now 2 complete courses in one. This is everything I know about writing articles, editing them, guest posting, things like that, and everything I know about marketing with articles. Now, here's something you might not know. When I started out with the Directory of E-Zines as a member, within 18 months, I bought the company, and a lot of people know that story. I bought the membership way back when, and I promised my wife, I said, honey, I promise I'm going to use this thing, I'm going to make it work, and it's going to help us make money. And by golly, 18 months later, a little less than, I bought the entire company, and I've owned it ever since. Now, the way that I did that was based on article marketing, not paid advertising, because believe me when I tell you, it was sacrificial to buy a membership to the Directory of E-Zines, much less be in a position to buy an entire company. I did it with article marketing. Man, I logged into that site every day, and I sent requests to e-zine publishers saying, can I please publish my article in your e-zine? And you know what? Within about 30 or 45 days, and I can't tell you the exact number, but within about 30 or 45 days, my articles were going to a potential audience of 1.5 million people. Now, I'm not saying 1.5 million people read the email and said, oh, that Charlie Page, he's a nice guy, I'm going to go buy something from him, because that didn't happen. That would be fantasy. But a potential audience of 1.5 million people were able to read my articles, because that's how many subscribers those messages were sent to. We're talking about opt-in subscribers, people who were getting an e-zine, because they wanted to read articles. Now they have a chance to read my article. And man, they came to my home base and they bought my copywriting services because that's what I was selling at that time. And it was a wonderful thing. This is why I went ahead and added article marketing to Common Sense Article Writing and changed it into Common Sense Article Marketing, because the marketing part of it is so important. Let me encourage you to learn more by using the link on this page. Before you join the site, I really want you to know what's in the site and what you get. It's a lot. Let me tell you, it's a lot. And it'll only take you a few minutes to discover that, so there's a link on this page. I hope you enjoyed these videos. This is the third in 3 videos. I hope you've watched the first one and second one and enjoyed this one as well. And I really have enjoyed sharing this information with you. And I hope to see you inside Common Sense Article Writing and Marketing. All right, this is Charlie Page. Thank you for your time. I hope you have an excellent day.